Adventure is a chance, an accident, an occurrence, an event, a happening. But that's by definition. In reality, adventure is a breakaway, a pause in the never-ending video of monotony, the key to the shackles of the daily grind. Welcome to PowerDrift. Today we have two of the best sub 500cc adventure motorcycles that you can buy in India. On one side, I have the Royal Enfield Himalayan.
And I have the KTM 390 Adventure. Watch this video till the very end to find out which one comes out on top. Of course, like, share and subscribe to PowerDrift. And with that, let's get the adventure started.
Both the motorcycles fit the adventure criteria quite easily. Tall at the front, tall from the seat and a luggage rack at the rear to complete the profile. The Himalayan is one up on the adventure front because of the 21-inch tire, but one glimpse at either of these motorcycles and they feel like they're ready to hit the road. The Himalayan looks a little traditional though. Circular lamp, tall beak and a windscreen.
The KTM looks like a KTM. It's still adventure, but it projects a fun look. It's not traditional, and thankfully traditional isn't something that is expected out of the folks in Austria. The 390 Adventure has been around for a while and it's finally due for a change, something that we will talk about later in this video. As is though, this is certainly not for those looking for a subtle classic ADV.
I must say, the Himalayan is a well-made product. Royal Enfield as a brand has come a long way in the quality department and it shows. Not only is the paint quality superb, but the welds, the panels, the nuts, the bolts, everything feels really nice.
The 390 Adventure, on the other hand, is also a really well-made product. It is an older motorcycle and that reflects on some of its quality as well. There are loose wires, the bodywork is plasticky in places, the paint quality isn't as good as the Himalayans and neither is the stickering. But overall quality is still not what you'd call bad. Even the switchgear, though familiar, is nice and clicky.
There's performance written all over this Comparo. The Himalayan uses the all-new Sherpa engine and it likes to be revved. There's a point, 3000 RPM, after which there's an urgency from the engine to go fast as hell. The 411 had problems stretching its legs on the highway, but not this time. Speeds of 120 km per hour come quick and sustaining those numbers isn't too big of a deal either. Vibrations are a problem, but this long-term motorcycle of ours definitely feels a little better after the first service. The 452 isn't a long stroke motor, so you will feel a little flat in the bottom end, but cross the 3000 RPM mark and all your problems disappear. The heating isn't a big problem either. The liquid cooling system takes care of this issue quite well. The gearbox is smooth, the clutch is light, and this is a big step up for Royal Enfield.
The 390 Adventure also likes to be revved out. It's almost a mismatch, an adventure motorcycle that does not have a bottom end. The KTM does need a little spark to get the fire going, but once it does, it goes like a KTM should, with urgency and a proper rush. Refinement is a big problem though, and it's something that the brand hasn't been able to solve with the 373cc engine. I love that the quick shifter comes standard, but it doesn't work as well as a quick shifter should. Overall, it's a familiar, tried and tested motor and one that still gets our hearts racing.
They're adventure motorcycles and they are capable of taking you places, so comfort has to be number one on the list. And both these motorcycles are. There isn't a lot different between these two ergonomically. But the Himalayan gets a seat that can switch between 825 and 845, and it also gets a low seat option that can switch between 805 and 825. There's a lot of options and I like it.
The KTM stands tall at 855mm, which might not be everyone's cup of tea, but remember, when you travel, your feet spend less time searching for the road than they do resting on the pegs. And once the KTM starts moving, a sense of comfort takes over. The seat might be a little bit firm for some of you, but I prefer the firmer seat because it gives me just a little bit more support for those longer distances.
The Himalayan seat is also very well cushioned, which means you can clock a lot of kilometers in one go without any problem. And it's also a big seat, and big means roomy.
All in all, upright posture on both these motorcycles with a clear view ahead and no stress anywhere on the body is a sign of you saying, I can do this all day long confidently. And now let's talk about handling, because this for me is the 390 Adventure's greatest achievement. A tall, heavy-ish ADV that can instantly shed all of its weight as soon as you start to push it. The Metzeler tires hold their line through the corners, and the Adventure might not be the corner rocket that the Duke is, but it is enjoyable and very fast through the twisties.
Surprisingly, the Himalayan isn't too bad either. It's not KTM fun, but it's got some fun of its own. Looks intimidating when you stand next to it, but the moment it picks up speed, everything starts to flow really well. I'm still not happy with the tires though, but the faster the Himalayan, the better it feels. The KTM is the more engaging motorcycle of the two, but which one are you picking? If you're out touring, just like we are, you will realize that the suspension setup on the Himalayan is absolutely brilliant. I don't know how Royal Enfield managed this, but it is world class. There is no sense of discomfort at all, and I really like it.
That's not to say the 390 Adventure setup is bad. It's firmer and sportier for sure, but all ADV motorcycles extend that comfort factor to the suspension as well. To be very honest, when it comes to comfort, it's not even close between these two motorcycles, but we feel some thorough testing is needed at an off-road location because we feel you guys will love to see these motorcycles fly through the dirt. And our playground of choice is Pro Dirt Adventure, an off-road training academy that's on the outskirts of Pune, where we can test out just how adventurous these ADVs really are. While Varun is just over there smiling at me as he gears up to go and ride off-road, let me tell you about the Himalayan's features. There's two riding modes on offer, Performance and Eco. The latter should only be used if it's your first time riding off-road or if the trail you're riding on is just beyond your level of expertise. The good thing is that there's switchable ABS on both the modes. Now the Himalayan misses out on traction control, and I feel the addition of that would have really completed the Himalayan's electronics package, but it's not there, so a little bit of a thumbs down there. Aside from that, you do have a full screen map layout, which is really nice to look at, but it does sap a lot of battery from your phone. That said, turn-by-turn navigation is very, very useful and well executed as well. Now it's been 3 months since we first rode the Himalayan, and there's still no sign of the tubeless spoke rims, so that's still a chink in the Himalayan's armor. The KTM 390 Adventure though does not have that chink. It has tubeless alloys, and while when you start to really push hard you might crack the alloys, and that will be of course a lot more inconvenient than a puncture, but metallurgy has come a long way and we haven't really heard complaints online of these alloys cracking, so I think you should be alright even when you go off-road. Aside from that, you still get phone connectivity and turn-by-turn navigation as standard, and that is great. I love it when brands offer that as standard. The turn-by-turn navigation itself is not as pretty to look at or easy to read with a quick glance as the one on the Himalayan, because of course you don't have a full screen map layout, it's just instructions, but still you don't have to keep taking your phone out, and it is definitely a convenience. Now, one point to end this segment is that while I prefer the look of the Himalayan screen, the fonts, the colors, the themes, all of that looks really nice on the Himalayan, it is a bit of a hassle to use. There's a small joystick at the bottom that controls the screen, then there's a home button on the top, there's a mode switch on this side, so it's a bit all over the place. The settings, the menus, the layouts, it's just very tough to get a hold of, especially when you ride and you start to figure it out. So I would suggest, if you have a Himalayan or if you want to buy a Himalayan, spend a day, figure out the screen, and then you can use it on the fly. On the 390 Adventure though, it's dead easy. There's a D-pad on the left, it's nice and clicky. All the menus are very simple and they're labeled very simply. So the 390 Adventure definitely gets a point up when it comes to ease of use for its screen.
While Karan learns the fundamentals of off-road riding at PowerDrift Adventure, I am going to talk about my off-road experience aboard these two motorcycles. There are two things that I want to talk about in particular. The first one is weight. The second one is the front wheel size. Now, the 390 Adventure is almost 19 kilos lighter than the Himalayan, and once you start riding it, it shows. It's easier to manage if you have a spill, you have more control if the weight starts to fall over to one side. And remember this, a lighter motorcycle will always translate to a more enjoyable ride any day of the week. But then you have the 21-inch front wheel of the Himalayan that literally goes over anything and everything. No F's given. And as annoying as these spoked wheels are, because tube tires, they are sturdy and can take quite a bit of bashing. The beauty of the suspension carries on to the dirt side as well, and the Himalayan feels effortless the moment you pick up speed, and all your worries about the motorcycle disappear. The weight, the size, the big boy feel, all of that disappears, and I really enjoy it. Between the two, it's a really close one off-road, but my vote goes for the Himalayan.
If you're considering buying one of these two motorcycles, the question is, what is the purpose? What do you really want these motorcycles for? If it's primarily going to be 90% of the time spent in the city, the 390 Adventure is the motorcycle for you. It's fun, it's manageable, service and spares are fairly affordable. And speaking of affordable, there's the X variant, which is raw, it misses out on some electronics, but it is more affordable.
If you're primarily looking at exploration, take a look at the Himalayan. Bigger fuel tank, comfortable, it's beautiful off-road, and it is designed to go places. By the way, there is a bigger, newer 390 Adventure that will come to India sometime later this year. It should have the same 399cc engine that the current gen Duke gets, and should also have a lot more equipment on offer. As far as the Himalayan goes, even after the price hike which it got recently, it's still a very good adventure tourer. The tube spoke rims, it's been a while since we have heard of these tube spoke rims, and if you really think that's a problem, there are aftermarket solutions, and if you're okay with that, then this is the motorcycle for you.
To sum it up, basically this is an adventure tourer, this is a more sporty, performance-oriented tourer. Adventure served two ways. And that's it. This comparo was asked by you guys, which is why we're here comparing these two motorcycles. Hopefully you liked it. If you did, give us a like. Of course, share this video with someone you think needs some adventure in their lives, and subscribe to PowerDrift.
And let us know in the comment section which motorcycle do you prefer. Royal Enfield Himalayan or the 390 Adventure. We reply to every single comment. So see you there. See you.
Heart goes to the 390, bro.
Chalo, pack up. Ghar chalo.
Action मैं बोलता हूँ, ठीक है?
Hey, start. Sound check.
Rolling. I need an action call, bro. मैं छोटे मोटे shoot